obstacles, seize opportunities, and achieve meaningful results. Whether you're launching your first business, growing your brand, increasing your income, or scaling to the next level, you'll find practical insights and actionable solutions that you can implement immediately through expert interviews, success stories, business strategies, marketing tips, leadership lessons, and personal development insights. You'll gain the knowledge and confidence needed to move forward with clarity and purpose. Success doesn't happen by chance. It happens when vision meets action, persistence meets opportunity, and challenges become stepping stones to growth. So get ready to think bigger, take smarter action, and create the business and life that you deserve. So, welcome to Breakthrough to Business Success, helping entrepreneurs build, grow, and scale. Every business begins with an idea. People often believe successful entrepreneurs have some magical gift for discovering brilliant ideas. That's really not true. Most successful businesses solve everyday problems. Ask yourself, what frustrates people? What do they struggle with? What skills do I already have? What knowledge can I teach? What experience have I gained over the years that others would pay to learn? Your business doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes it simply makes the wheel better. Maybe entrepreneurs delay starting because they think their idea isn't unique enough. Here's some encouragement. The world doesn't need another unique idea, it needs your unique approach. Nobody has your personality. Nobody has your experience. Nobody has your story. That alone differentiates you. Remember titles and remember this: ideas are free, implementation creates value. What frustrates people? Every successful business solves a frustration. Examples: parents are frustrated trying to find affordable tutoring for their children. Business idea: online tutoring service or educational membership. Small business owners hate bookkeeping. Here's a business idea: virtual bookkeeping or accounting service. Busy professionals don't have time to cook healthy meals. Business idea: meal prep business or healthy recipe subscription. Entrepreneurs struggle with social media. Here's a business idea: social media management of content creation agency. Job seekers are frustrated with writing resumes. Here's a business idea: resume writing and LinkedIn optimization. Ask yourself, what problem do people complain about over and over? Complaints often point directly to business opportunities. What do people struggle with? People gladly pay for solutions that make life easier. For example, losing weight, managing finances, finding customers, learning technology, the management, or rather time management, public speaking, marketing, stress management, organizing their homes, caring for aging parents. And these are some business ideas: health coaching, financial coaching, marketing consultant, tech training, productivity coaching, professional organizer, caregiver support services. Remember, people don't buy products, they buy solutions. What skills do I already have? You probably know far more than you realize. Suppose you've worked as a teacher. Here's a business idea: online courses, tutoring, curriculum creation, educational consulting, office manager, business ideas, virtual assistant agency, business operations consultant, workflow systems, salesperson, business idea, sales coaching, closing training, customer service consulting, graphic designer, business idea, brand identity packages, logo design, website graphics, human resource professional, business idea, interview coaching, resume writing, recruiting services. Ask yourself, what do people constantly ask me for help with? These requests often reveal your most valuable skills. What knowledge can I teach? I've If you've learned something that others want to know, you have knowledge people may pay for. For example, you know how to build a website, use Excel, train dogs, garden successfully, bake specialty cakes, invest in real estate, play guitar, use AI tools, create YouTube videos, speak confidently. Each one can become coaching, courses, workshops, memberships, books, speaking engagements, consulting, digital downloads. Teaching creates multiple income streams from one area of expertise. What experience have I gained that others would gladly pay to learn? Your experiences may be your greatest business asset. For example, someone who lost 100 pounds, recovered from addiction, started a nonprofit, built a six-figure business, raised children with special needs, navigated a serious illness, paid off significant debt, transitioned careers successfully, can help others going through the same journey. Your own story. In your case, you've experienced growing up, or rather, in my case, and I have been a disability rights advocate, growing up with a disability, overcoming abuse and adversity, becoming an entrepreneur, and facing employment barriers, building a career as a speaker and a podcaster, helping entrepreneurs launch businesses through business planning, coaching, and funding strategies. And let me quickly tell you that what I'm currently working on is the Authority Breakthrough Masterclass. Turn your expertise into visibility, credibility, and income. And the first thing that I'm doing is creating a webinar that's going to talk to you, or rather, being titled Authority Accelerator, the 90-day speaker and podcast authority building system. And the importance is to understand what the program is that anyone who has their own business needs to know. Today, you really need to have a podcast. And most people, when they have a podcast, what do? They bring other people on and interview. Because I started my podcast back in 2006 when the industry was only 2 years old. At the time, it was all audio, and I was on Blog Talk Radio, and it was Blog Talk Radio, it was TalkShoe, it was a few others, but it was all strictly audio. Then, as every video became available, then you started seeing StreamYard. Now you and other sites, just like this site is Riverside FM and has much more or a way to edit your video once you've completed it. But the importance is that if you have your own business today, you have to find a way to allow yourself to become known as an authority. And that's getting on the speaking stage. And that's also creating a podcast where you can promote, either do it where you interview others, but the idea is that what you're doing is letting yourself become known as an authority in your industry. These experiences naturally lead to business ideas such as business coaching for entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship training for people with disabilities, professional speaking and visibility coaching, podcast launch and monetization programs, business plan writing services, funding readiness coaching, books, online courses, and mastermind communities. Notice how your personal journey becomes your professional experience. And what I did was use my experience of the things that I went through that have made me an expert in my industry that I can turn around and teach others how to do. Now, let's talk about turning your answers into business ideas. Use this simple formula: the problem plus the skill plus the solution equals the business. For example, a small business owners don't know how to market themselves. You understand branding and social media, business marketing, coaching, and content strategy. Problem: entrepreneurs struggle with funding. I know how to write business plans and prepare funding applications. Here's the business planning and funding and consulting. And for one thing, I am joining with someone that is an expert in writing business plans. And he will be writing the business plan, and I will be working with them to actually implement the business plan and get the business up and running. And because of my knowledge on getting funding for a business, I will also work with them on funding their business when needed. So understanding example what you can do helps you understand how you can help others. And for example, new podcasters don't know how to grow an audience. So for all my years in podcasting experience, I can help them with podcast coaching, courses, and sponsorship consulting. Here's another problem to think about. Professionals are afraid of public speaking, and I am an experienced speaker. Public speaking, coaching, and presentation training. This is why you find experienced speakers today working with other speakers, teaching them how to grow their business. And it's real simple because today it's not getting on like it was in the past, where you had that media kit and you could send out that media kit, or you had large corporations that were always doing regional meetings, local meetings, and national meetings. Today, those things do not happen. So you have to change your mindset in how you look at any industry that you're in today. Now, you don't have to invent the next $1 billion app to become a successful entrepreneur. The best business ideas often come from paying attention to everyday problems, recognizing the skills that you've already developed, and using your unique experiences to help others achieve the results that they want. So ask yourself these 5 questions regularly. You may discover that the business you've been searching for has been hiding in your own life all along. Now, let's validate before you invest. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is spending months or even years building something that nobody wants. Instead, validate first. How? Talk to potential customers. Ask questions like, would this solve a problem? Would you buy it? What would you pay? What features matter most? What frustrates you with current solutions? Research competitors. Competition isn't bad. Competition proves there's demand. If nobody is selling something similar, ask yourself why. Validate and can also happen through social media posts, surveys, small workshops, pilot coaching programs, beta products, free webinars. You don't need thousands of customers. You don't need proof that someone is willing to pay. Sales, validation ideas, likes don't, comments don't, revenue does. The biggest mistake many entrepreneurs make is asking their family and friends, do you like my idea? The answer is almost always yes, because they want to be supportive, not because they'll become a paying customer. Instead, ask questions that uncover whether people have a real problem and whether they're willing to pay for the solution. Here's how to use each question effectively. Would this solve a problem? Determine whether your idea addresses a real pain point. Suppose you're thinking about starting a business that writes business plans. Instead of asking, do you think my business plan service is a good idea? Ask, if you wanted to start a business, would having someone write a professional business plan solve one of your big challenges? Possible responses: absolutely. I have no idea where to start. No, my biggest issue is finding customers. Now, you learn that some people may need a business plan, while others may need marketing help. This helps you refine your offer. Would you buy it? This is one of the most important validation questions because it separates interest from intent. Suppose you're creating an online course on podcasting. If this course helped you launch your podcast in 30 days, would you buy it? If they say yes, no, then follow up tomorrow. What would convince you to purchase? You might hear live coaching, templates, accountability, community access, feedback on episodes. These answers tell you what buyers value most. What would you pay? Many entrepreneurs guess at pricing. Don't guess, ask. You considering offering business coaching? Ask, if this program helped you launch your business within 90 days, what would you expect to pay? Possibly responses could be $200, $500, $1,000, $2,500. Now ask another question. Why that amount? You'll discover what customers expect to receive at different price points, helping you come up with an offer that matches their expectations. What features matter the most? Customers often value different things than entrepreneurs expect. You're creating a course on becoming a professional speaker. You might assume people want video lessons, downloadable PDF, quizzes, Instead, ask, what would make the course most valuable to me? Their answers might be speaker, one sheet templates, pitch, email scripts, booking contacts, live coaching, AI prompts, feedback on speeches. These insights help you create a product that people are excited to buy. What frustrates you with current solutions? The question helps you identify opportunities to stand out from competitors. You're starting a business loan consulting service. Ask entrepreneurs what frustrates you about trying to get business funding. Common responses might include banks reject me. I don't know what paperwork is required. Nobody explains the process. It takes too long. I don't know which lender to trust. Now you know exactly how to position your business, faster process, step by step guidance, professional and personal coaching, access to multiple lenders, clear communication. Your marketing can now speak directly to those frustrations, putting it all together. Imagine that you're launching a coaching program called the Authority Accelerator. Instead of asking, do you like my idea? You interview 10 potential clients. Your questions: would this solve a problem? Would a program that helps you become known as the go to expert in one of the biggest business challenges? Would you buy it? If it helped you get more clients through speaking, podcasting, and personal branding, would you invest in it? What would you pay? What would you expect to pay for a program that helped you grow your authority and attract new business? What features matter the most? Would you value live coaching, templates, AI prompts, community support, or accountability the most? What frustrates you with current solutions? What's missing from the business coaching program you've tried before? From just a handful of conversations, you might discover most people struggle with visibility more than expertise. They want practical templates rather than theory. They value accountability over long video lessons. They are willing to invest more for personalized coaching. They are frustrated with generic advice that doesn't apply to their business. With this information, you can build a program that solves real problems instead of making assumptions. Here are some bonus validation questions. What is your biggest challenge right now? How are you solving your problem today? What's working well with your current solution? What's not working? If you could weave a magic wand, what would your ideal solution look like? How quickly do you need a solution? What would success look like 6 months from now? Where do you usually look for help with this problem? Key takeaways: validation isn't about getting compliments, it's about gathering evidence. The goal is to confirm that people have a genuine problem, understand how they're solving it today, identify what's missing, and determine whether you're willing to pay for the better solution. The more conversations you have before you build your product and service, the greater your chance of creating something the market actually wants and is willing to pay. Identify your customer. One of the biggest reasons businesses struggle is trying to serve everyone. When you market, when you market to everyone, you reach no one. Instead, build an ideal customer avatar. Ask yourself, who needs this the most? What age are they? What career are they in? What income level? What problem keeps them awake at night? What goals are they trying to reach? What feels and fears stop them? Where do we spend their time online? When you understand your customer deeply, your marketing becomes easier, your messaging becomes clearer, your offers become stronger. Instead of saying, I help businesses say, I help new entrepreneurs launch profitable business through business planning, coaching, and funding strategies. Specific always beats general. And this is the biggest problem on LinkedIn. I've been in business over 40 years. I know my industry. I know how to get customers. And yet on LinkedIn, I will have everyone all of a sudden befriending me. And the first thing they try to do is sell me a service and sell me on publicity, not knowing what my real needs are. This is why you need to truly know what age group you're serving. Because if you're doing promotion, why would you approach someone who's been in business 40 years and is in their 70s trying to sell them your service when they've probably been there and done that? So knowing who they are and getting to know where they are in their business instead of trying to look at everyone you that's a coach and a consultant as your customer, know where they are actually in their business, or at the beginning, at the middle, or the tail end. Because I probably will be working a few more years in building up residual income, but that doesn't mean that I'm looking for new customers. Knowing who your customer is and where they are is so important. So stop selling to everyone and start serving the right people. One of the biggest mistakes new entrepreneurs make is believing everyone could use my product or service. While that may sound logical, it usually leads to ineffective marketing because your message is too broad. Your truth is, the more specific you are about your service, the easier it becomes to attract clients and create compelling offers and grow your business. Your ideal customer is also called your customer avatar or buyer persona. And, and this is the person most likely to benefit and pay for your product or service. So, recognizing this, knowing exactly where you are and what it is that your customer needs is so important. Learn where to spend time. You don't and can't market to people if you don't know where they are. So ask yourself, where did do they learn? Where do they network? Where do they search for information? And here's an example. Entrepreneurs spend time on LinkedIn, Facebook groups, YouTube, podcasts, industry conferences, Chamber of Commerce events, small business development centers, networking organizations. Knowing this tells you where to advertise and where to build your relationships. Find out how they make buying decisions. Always recognize what it is that you are looking for. Create your ideal customer profile. Meet Sarah. She's age 42. Her occupation is corporate employee. Her income is $85,000. Her goal is to start her own consulting business. Her biggest fear, leaving a stable paycheck. Her frustration, doesn't know how to find clients. Her dream is to replace her full-time income within 2 years. So, where she learns podcasts, LinkedIn, YouTube, business books, what she values, clear guidance, accountability, practical advice. Now, every piece of the content you create should answer serious questions, problems. So, understanding how to find these informations can help you get to exactly where you want your business to begin. Now, your ideal customer isn't just someone who can afford your product. It's someone who has a pressing problem. It's actively looking for a solution and values that transform you that you provide. When you know exactly who you're serving, every aspect of your business becomes more focused. Your marketing resonates with offers that become more compelling, and your sales conversations become easier because you're speaking directly to the people who need your expertise. Now, keep your business plan simple. Start with a one-page business plan. Answer the questions. What problems do I solve? Who do I serve? What products or services will you sell? How will customers find you? How will you make money? What expenses will you have? Where are your goals for the next 90 days? And the idea here is to recognize exactly what it is that you need to do to become more consistent. So, thank you for joining me for Breakthrough to Business Success. I hope today's episode provided value, insights, practical strategies, and inspiration to help you move one step closer to your goals. Remember, every successful business begins with a decision to take the action and stay committed to the journey. If you found value in today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this show with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to build, grow, and scale their business. For additional resources, training programs, coaching opportunities, and tools to help you accelerate your success, connect with us at Career Performance Institute. And that website address is coachdavidashinsky.com. Until next time, keep believing in your vision, keep taking action, and keep moving forward. I'm Davida Shinsky, and this has been Breakthrough to Business Success, where entrepreneurs turn challenges into opportunities and ideas into results. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.